Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to make a really nice and easy raw soup. Don't be intimidated by all the stuff I have out here. I'm really just showing you what your options are. You can add any of or all of this or a different combination of vegetables that work well in a soup. You're just going to need a base, and to save time I already juiced my base, which was carrots, and I'll show you here what your options are. You can either use the already peeled and washed baby carrots. Those have a really nice flavor, and you just throw them through the juicer and it's really quick to get a whole nice jar of carrot juice like this. Or you can go with the cheaper option, which is to just buy the carrots, the big gnarly carrots. Those, if you don't peel them, they're gonna leave a bitter residue taste in your soup. So honestly, if you do buy these carrots, I would take the extra time to peel them, or else just go with the babies, which are sweeter. Last but not a terrible choice would be to just buy carrot juice, which is also an option. Don't feel bad if you don't have time to juice or you don't have a juicer. Buying carrot juice to make this soup is still going to be healthier than anything you could possibly buy at any restaurant. So once we have the base, which is a nice carrot juice in this case, and then beside that I have some coconut milk that I make myself. Again, if you don't want to go the trouble to make your own coconut milk, as I did, you can buy coconut milk these days. A lot of companies make it. It won't be quite as thick, but you can use other things to thicken up your soup, which is what all this other stuff is here. I'm going to put in the blender some red bell pepper, some nice heirloom tomatoes, a yellow crookneck squash, maybe a little bit of celery. And what those are going to do is those are just going to make a thickness to my soup. They'll add some flavor, of course, but the main point is going to be a texture thing. Last but not least, we have garlic, which I just think makes the soup taste extra savory. You don't have to add it if you opposed. We also have a leek, which I would chop just a few sections of it into the soup. I just wanted to show you that whole. A lot of people have heard of leeks, and we actually can grow these in the garden. But maybe you didn't realize that you can eat those raw just like you could an onion, or at least you can blend it up, and there's going to be a beautiful oniony flavor in the soup. Alright, so let's get some of this stuff into the blender and see what we can make. I always like to throw in the juiciest stuff first so that the blades won't get hung up on dry produce. So these tomatoes are what I'm throwing in there first. And then the pepper, because I love the taste of pepper. I'm going to put a whole one. You don't need to if you don't want your soup to be extra peppery. This is a bell pepper. It's not going to be hot. Maybe just 2 cloves of garlic. I don't like too much garlic in my stuff. And I'll try a section of this. This yellow squash really is just to thicken. It's not a flavor agent as much as it is a texture thing. So add as little or as much as you need of something like that. Celery always adds a nice unique savory flavor, as well as a little bit of sodium to your soup. So let me throw that in. And then I had here, I don't know if I mentioned this before, some of my homemade ginger juice with a little bit of parsley. And I put that through the juicer after I was done with the carrots. So a little ginger in there, or a lot in my case. And let me just cut a section of that leek and then we'll get to blending. Here's what I have with the leek, and you do need to wash these well because a lot of times they have dirt. But see the ringlets? Just like a normal onion. I'm going to throw those in for the onion flavor. Not too much because it will get hot if you put too much in. But this soup is going to be serving a lot of people, so that's not one person that's getting that much. And then for a tang, I love to add sauerkraut to things because not only does it add a great punch of flavor, but it also has these really healthy probiotics that are excellent for your immune system. This one is a dill and garlic sauerkraut. The only ingredients are organic cabbage, sea salt, dill, and garlic. So other than this, I'm not going to need to add other salts to my soup. This is going to be the only salty agent that you'll need, and if you don't do even that, then leave it out, no problem. Maybe a tablespoon or so, a little bit of that juice. Make it nice and savory. All right, and then we're going to use the coconut milk as the blending agent. Lots of liquid. We're not gonna need to add too much carrot juice because as you can see, my blender's already full. Maybe just a quarter of it. Wow, that's heavy. And the rest we can just stir in later in the pot. Okay? So you never want to fill your blender more than really 3/4 of the way full, or it's just gonna overflow when you start blending and you'll have a mess. So there's my soup start. Let me get blending and I'll show you what that looks like. There you go. I started on low. Now I'm going to rev up the speed a bit. Get that stuff smooth. Okay, so look at that nice frothy soup. And I actually just took a spoonful and it's absolutely wonderful. Just the right amount of garlic and leek and vegetables. I guess that straight on. Now, if it's, for some people it might not be salty enough. And if that's an issue, I still would rather you don't use real salt and instead go with a little bit of this miso that's made from chickpeas. It's completely soy-free and it has a salty flavor, and again, the benefits of fermented foods as well. So I'm just going to add a little teaspoon of that just because I am serving this to a whole bunch of people who are not used to having that clean of a diet. The other thing I'm going to put in here, my handy dandy spice rack. These are all organic spices, but this one here I like. It's the curry powder, and I'm sorry that's blurry on here, but it's a salt-free organic curry powder. And turmeric, paprika, fennel, coriander, black pepper, cumin, ginger, celery, clove, caraway, and cayenne. So instead of adding a whole bunch of different spices, I'm going to add about a teaspoon of this. Now if you're feeling like you want your soup to be a little bit thicker, which I am, I'm going to add a little bit more of that squash and the last of the celery, and then reblend for a slightly thicker stew. Again, you're going to go put it back on low to start because you don't want an explosion. Nice and easy. Okay, and finally I have some cilantro here because that's what I like, but you can use parsley as well. And I'm just going to grab about a handful, like that much, and throw it in the top here. That, and take us back down to low to just chunk that in. That's about all you need, okay? And you can add as much produce as you want to thin or thicken your creation. So let's reblend this baby. Now with that done, I'm going to carry my delicious soup over to my rinky-dink little stove here and pour this into a pot for a true soup effect. You can see those dots of fresh green herb in there. Beautiful. And oh my God, I wish you could taste this, because you'd be surprised at how quick and easy you can make such a perfect soup. Yum. Ready to have people over. Now, if you do want your soup a little bit warm, that's no problem. You just put your stove on really low and just stick your little finger in there and make sure at all times that your little finger can go in there comfortably without being too hot, and that will keep you from losing any of the enzymes and vitamins that you're getting from your nice raw soup. Or you can do as I do and Fill up a nice big glass jar of this delicious elixir and take it to a picnic potluck and serve as is or chilled. So thanks for watching this quick creation. It's good stuff. Hope you go make some for yourself. Delicious and nutritious.